We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Like zero buzz for this Super Bowl, no? Look, there's going to be about 130 million people watch this bad puppy on Sunday, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's because it's in the Pacific Northwest. You got Seattle, right? And then you got the Patriots that are kind of new. And maybe people aren't jacked up about seeing that team back in the Super Bowl again. I mean, right? Should have just promoted Stout to OC. I don't think he's ever been an offensive coordinator, like in his entire coaching career. I don't think he has. All right. Guys had a great conversation today on Birds 365. By the way, let me see here real quick before we get Big Z in here. Let's see here. Anybody drop a nugget in here? I think somebody may have. Yeah, here. There we go. Much respect for Howard. And we know Jalen didn't play good, but to say Patullo wasn't the problem. Come on. These guys had no feel for the game. True. I agree. Absolutely. All right. Nick, we're going to get to you here in a minute because I want to get to Zander and I want to get to Big Z's thoughts here. So let's do that next. Without further ado, we bring our boy in. Big Z, Zander Krause joins us now. Boy, it's been a wild one for 24 hours, has it not?
It has. Right when your show ended yesterday, eruption unfolded in Eagle Land.
By the way, great job on the breaking news, too. That thing blew up like a dog.
Yeah, it was good. Good show, by the way. I was in the car most of the afternoon, but I did catch your interview with Angelo, and I caught most of your interview with Howard. You know, it's funny that I feel as though what's happened in the last 24 hours has almost triggered something in me. And Angelo surmised it pretty well. You know, I know a lot of people think of Angelo, you know, and he does always have a take, and that's part of his shtick. But a lot of what he said was really true about surrounding this team with a bunch of inefficient or at least inexperienced coaches, and you really boot out the one guy on offense who really truly did have that leg to stand on. And I think I've been a Nick Sirianni defender. Would you call me a Nick Sirianni? For the most, no, I don't think I'm a Glazer, but I tried to defend him.
Not a Glazer, but you've given him his proper.
But you know what this made me realize? That Nick has all the control now, and I don't trust him. I don't trust him. So if I don't trust him in this moment where you get rid of Stout, and hey, you know, I can also explain very simply why he's doing this, and we'll get to that. But I don't trust him. I trusted it more when there was structure. I trusted it more when Jeff Stoutland is managing it. I trust it more when Vic Fangio's there. I trust it more when Lane Johnson. Now that some of those old guard, you know, foundational pieces are not in place anymore, I feel as though that I don't trust it as much. And that to me tells me a little bit more about what I really think about Nick than what, you know, maybe I try and tell myself, because he does have a good resume. That hasn't changed.
Do you know what you just giving me? Doesn't getting rid of Vic Fangio and Jeff Stoutland give more autonomy to the head coach and more power to the head coach if you get those voices out of his locker room? Doesn't he get most of the credit then if the team continues to win? Don't you?
Well,
Sometimes look at this. Don't you think when Doug got fired, didn't the majority of the fan base turn to Howie and say, Howie did it? Howie built it. Even though there's Doug fans, people now, don't you think Doug not being in the building gave more of the success of the team and more of how the team was built to Howie?
It did, but Nick had the success. So as Angelo, eloquently stated, even if they don't like Nick or don't think he's good, the only way to logically get him out of the building is to put the ship on his shoulders. That's the only way to disband.
I agree.
Because now, think about it. They're thinking about Howie. They're not going to fire Howie, but it's going to look interesting. He's going to have how many coaches now for Howie? So they want to make it look better for everybody included. So now let me give you the other side of why I think Nick's doing this. And if it is Nick, I do wonder. I have to throw this in there. The owner has a history of wanting these types of offenses. He does. That's his history. That's what he's always coveted. So I can't just completely rule out that.
So his desire overrules the reality of.
I don't know if it has or not. At the end of the day, I think Angelo is right. I think this is more on Nick. I'm just throwing it in there. It should be in the back of everybody's mind that the owner, that's what he wants.
For the record, Zander, I think this hot firing or pushed out the door of Jeff Stoutland's bullshit.
Oh, it's complete. It's insanity. I mean, in a way, it broke it. I mean, remember wasn't I on here a couple weeks ago? As much as I defended Nick, or even last week, saying if anybody thinks that you should be hiring Cliff Kingsbury over keeping Stoutland, I think you're an idiot. I'm pretty sure I said almost exactly that.
Yeah.
So I've always felt this about Stoutland that he was the wrong move. Now let me try and explain why I think Nick is doing this. I think he's been backed into a corner in a way with his own offense. And as simple as it was and as successful as it was, things were condensing on that offense. And the league is caught up to it potentially. They weren't prolific enough passing the football to be able to make up for any deficiencies that they developed in the run game. Defenses, eventually figured it out where they didn't have to focus too much on the pass game. To take away the shot plays, they can stack the box for the most part and stop the run and take it away. So his offense was condensing in, and that's like one tree branch. And most of the NFL lives over here on this big oak tree, right? We're like this little small prune flower that Nick Sirianni planted. You got the McVay, Shanahan tree. Every offensive coach is linked to this tree. Every offensive coach wants to play this way. And now Nick Sirianni is thinking, I'm going to go out either way.
Yeah.
And the upside of the offense I'm currently running is no longer what it once was. I might as well give us a shot to experience the upsides or give us the landing pad for what the West Coast spread offense would give us, as opposed to dying in my offense. Because look, if they stayed the same and it failed, he's fired. If it changes and he's failed and it fails, he's fired. So wouldn't you, if you're going to be fired either way without reaching great expectations, wouldn't you rather give yourself and the team, and I think Nick is somewhat selfish.
But you move yourself closer to the sun with this.
Right.
Okay? You move yourself.
Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get why I think he's –
No. Yo, yeah. What he's now done is what every coordinator that gets hired here has done. It's boom or bust.
It really is.
Okay?
Really
he's
is.
now closer. Before he wasn't closer to the sun. So I'll ask you, are they changing this offense for Nick or Jalen?
I think Nick is changing it from pressure. But the pressure is coming from people who think Nick is wrong. Wait. From people who think Nick is wrong that Jalen can run an offense like this. And I think Nick's belief is that with Jalen, my best way to win is not this offense. And that he's been proven largely right with how much they've won the last couple of years. I think the pressure comes from the owner. I think the pressure comes from the fan base. I think the pressure comes from the fact that the reality is, forget my opinion, your opinion, anybody listening's opinion. I'm talking to you listening right now, not Sills, you listening. It doesn't really matter. The truth is that Jeffrey Lurie will fire him. That our opinions don't matter. He'll fire him. So if Nick knows that, I think he looks at it as maybe trying to, all right, let's see. And maybe I'm wrong. And if he's wrong, by the way, guess what? He looks like a genius now because he flipped the offense to Mannion, got rid of all these other guys, brought in all the new guard, and if it works, Nick's a genius. If it doesn't work, he's fired either way.
If it works, Nick will go down as one of the top coaches in my eyes in pro football. If it doesn't, it'll be exactly what I thought of him. The impact now of Jeff Stoutland not being there, what does that have on Lane Johnson?
Huge, dude. I mean, I'm thinking of I don't want to
wait. Jordan Malott is barking right now.
Yeah, he was. I read what he said. Yeah,
like a wolf right now at Media Row.
Yeah, he basically said he was crying. He called Jeff. He couldn't get a word out or couldn't piece together a sentence. But I mean, look, the offensive line's going to care. I can't sit here and act like that's the death knell. It's not. I mean, look, the offensive line can care about the coaches. They're all businessmen. They're all professionals. They all understand at the end of the day.
Direct deposits matter.
Exactly right. So, I don't think that's going to be the end all. And that's what I come back to with Lane. Like, Lane loves Jeff, yes, but Lane has a legacy and a career and his own personal desires. And a lot of them might have nothing to do with Jeff Stoutland. And just Jeff Stoutland hanging him up, I don't think will be enough reason for Lane to submit to them unless Lane really does want to. I don't think it would be because of Jeff, but I do think it's a factor in his decision. Yeah.
Okay, let's add this one now. And to me, Zander, I'm going to go on the positive end, believe it or not. So if I'm A.J. Brown, don't I do this? Shit. Well, they're changing. Does that mean more volume passing? Because either I hate the quarterback style, and I don't believe he hates Jalen. I think it's style of play and all that shit that he hates. But doesn't this make AJ do this? Hey, man, they want to try to get the ball in the air now. Shouldn't I want to be part of that? Do you think that's kind of an olive branch to go, I told you, dude, we want the offense to go through you now, not Barkley?
Well, where I think you're right is that I think AJ's looking. Where I think you overstated it is that I'm not sure whether AJ thinks it's Jalen or not. I mean, I don't think he thinks it's Jalen. I think you're right in a vacuum. So you think
it's a Nick issue?
Well, I think in a vacuum, yes, AJ thinks that the philosophy of the team is wrong, fundamentally wrong.
But he's trying to change it now.
He is. Well, let me get it out. I am not going to turn a blind eye, though, to the degradation of the relationship between Jalen and AJ. I don't need to be a counselor. I don't need to be a psychologist. I'm not trying to – I don't care if they're buddies or not. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves of what's going on with the Eagles organization. And I don't think Jalen and AJ are obviously on the terms that they once were. Who cares? All right, you're grown men. I'm not worried about it. I don't care. I'm just saying, are we sure that he doesn't think it's Jalen at all? I don't know. I don't think we can make that statement definitively.
Okay, so help me understand this. You got a 33-year-old OC. You've got Kevin Patullo. How does Kevin Patullo still have a job at Jeff Stoutland?
Oh, dude, if he's still on this in this organization when we get the training, or there's a picture on my timeline next year of Kevin Patullo.
I guarantee you he is.
Oh gosh, dude, if you're gonna put wait a second.
Like Angelo said, it's like a frat house.
Dude, Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry, but this is an awful look on him. Dude, you know me. We talked about this a little bit ago when we were talking about the Italian mob. And I'm like, I hate rats. It's a fundamental thing in me. I don't like people who turn on people. All right? You can't do it.
Snitches take stitches, bitch.
Dude, Nick's turned on everybody. And boy, I know we've brought up Brian Johnson, perhaps too much. But doesn't it bring that back into the bullseye again?
I said he doesn't stand up for his coaches.
He doesn't at all, dude. And part of you can say, yeah, it's all right. It is what it is. He's the one with the $15 million job. He's going to keep his job before he puts someone else first. To a degree, we're all selfish, aren't we all? I mean, in a way, yeah, we are all to a certain degree. But I don't know. I just like you blew everybody. Now you blew out Stoutland. You blew out Brian Johnson. That guy doesn't have an OC job. You blew out your boy Patullo, who, again, I don't think Patullo was good, but Really? Are we going to sit here and say that the entire offensive problems were Patullo? Guys, our offense hasn't been that good for a couple of years. I mean, the running game took a step back, and the passing game took a small step forward. So I don't think Patullo was good, but I don't think Patullo was the number one, the only issue on the Eagles' offense.
Do you think it went down like this? And by the way, I have to wonder how much of this played a factor in Vic Fangio's waffling back and forth. And follow me when I say this.
Maybe.
So if you're Vic and you're watching Jeff Stoutland go back and forth, and the only coach that Vic probably respects over there on that side with the length of career that he's had and what he's done in this league, bro, if you could do that to Jeff Stoutland, you could fucking do that to anybody. Means you don't really have respect for any coach. They did it to Doug. They did it to Andy. They've done it to everyone.
Yeah, the only difference is Doug had a backbone and said, I'm not firing my guys. Put it on me.
Did Jeff. Jeff went like this. I'm not listening to the 30-year-old snot.
Yeah, but there's also a fundamental accountability thing. Nick will point the finger when it's convenient. Doug said, they're not the problem.
Yeah.
If you think there's a problem, I'm the problem. Fire me. Don't fire the offensive coordinator and keep me. If you have a problem, fire me. Nick used to say at the podium every other week, this is my offense. Mm-hmm. I don't care who calls it. It's my offense. Well, the offense falls flat. And, all right, see you, Patullo. Let's bring in a new scheme. Yeah. I got it, buddy. I don't know. It just comes across as snaky to me.
Yeah. Sleazy.
Yeah, sleazy as hell.
Yeah. Okay. How do you think this affects Jalen Hurts in 26?
I think it's boom or bust, to be honest. I think Jalen's either going to have one
of the
best
coach
years.
And the quarterback.
Well, the whole setup is boom or bust, no? Dude, if Jalen comes out, look, if Jalen comes out, and look.
You think they tied them together really here now? I mean, they look like they tied both of them together here.
They do, but it's for different reasons, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like Jalen is going to have to now operate a different style of offense. That's a different role for him. Nick just needs to keep having success. In a way, it doesn't matter what way it gets done, as long as wins keep adding up. I think that's what he's going for. Jalen, I think, I'm not really confident one way or the other here. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts can't do it. I really don't. I know a lot of people don't like Jalen.
I don't believe he can.
I don't think he can't do it. I don't think he can do it to the level of some people. But I also believe inherently that there's more that Jalen Hurts has in the tank, that Jalen Hurts can give you more as a player. And if you get him in the right coach with the right scheme and the right system and somebody who understands him as a player, you can get more out of that guy. That's my fundamental belief. But I also recognize that he's never been a high-volume passer at any level of his career. Whenever he's been put in that environment, they've either had major turnovers or they scaled it back like they did with Kellen Moore. Remember, everybody remembers, Kellen Moore was brought in for a similar reason. Not the McVay tree, but he was the pro-style passing offense. It's what everybody wanted. 4 weeks, and then they reverted back to Nick's system. So, I can't just get rid of that context. So that's why I'm like dead in the middle. Like Jalen could literally not succeed in the offense, and John and you will be like, I could have told you that, and I'll understand why you said that. But I could also see him coming out. I could also see Sean Mannion recognizing he can't just throw it 35 times a game, but you can create different avenues where he throws 25 to 30 times, but you have a little bit more of a different looking scheme. You can give him easy layups. You can allow him to get into rhythm as a player. That's one of the things that's always bothered me about the way they coach Jalen. They don't let him get in a rhythm. Like I see other quarterbacks, they give him easy throws early and often. Give him a couple checkdowns. Give him a couple easy throws. Get him feeling it. I always felt like the Eagles never did that. First throw was like 13-yard out route. I'm like, come on, man. Give him a freaking layup. So if you get a coach that can mesh some of that, I think Jalen can be better. I do.
All right. Now, you believe in human nature, right? You believe that there's a human nature element to people in life, right?
Yeah.
And survival, right? Hey, by the way, you and me, our families are important. We're going to look at our families more, right? I believe in that myself, okay?
Right.
So if you're Nick Sirianni and you see Jalen Hurts failing in this offense, I'm going to pull the plug on that guy, and I'm going to pull that guy, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win because I care about my job, not his fucking job.
Yeah,
You just got through saying, hold on, you just got through saying to me, this guy doesn't defend anybody.
It's not how it works in Philly. I agree with you. It's not how it works.
Bro,
you would think every move he made.
So you think
there's a reason that every scapegoat.
You think Nick's going to die on the vine with him?
Because every scapegoat Nick's ever had has been what?
An assistant coach.
An assistant coach. Not a player.
Well, that's going to come from upstairs because they did it to Wentz.
And what happened to Doug when he sat Wentz?
That's right.
They didn't. That was not an organizational sit down. A lot of people think the organization said to Doug to sit Wentz. No. Doug Peterson made the decision to bench Carson Wentz.
Jeffrey Lurie will decide to bench Wentz.
No, it wasn't Jeffrey Lurie. And that's why
he'll decide to bench Hurts.
That was part of the reason. So Nick Sirianni, in my opinion, is not any way.
But Nick knows how to play the political game better than anybody. He's going to go to
so
the owner.
That means keeping Jalen in the game. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to bench Jalen because the owner's going to choose.
So he'll go down with the ship.
He's going down with the ship, or the ship is going to fly.
Okay,
it's one or the other, dude.
Boy, man, if
there's
that's
no way. I'm going to make a.
I am not.
My bold prediction is this.
I'm not going down with that guy.
My bold prediction is this. We don't know what the ending is going to be.
No.
What will not happen is Nick Sirianni will create an off-ramp for himself where he survives and Jalen and the rest of the offense go down. That will never happen. I'm telling you right now, it'll never happen.
So the exiting of Stoutland has now created, they're both tied together in this.
Who's tied together?
Hurts and Sirianni.
Well, I think in a way, but I think Jalen's.
Or either you're going down with him or you're not.
Or
you're flying with him. Or you're
flying fail this year. They could fail this year, and Jalen would make it. Would last.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, think about it.
If we find out Hurts can't run this offense, you got to move
about it, man.
You got to move off him, dude.
I know, but you've laid it out on this whole show. You got to see it. I'm telling you, you have the same opinion as me. We're not disagreeing. The only thing I'm telling you right now is they're not going to give them the same leash. I 100% promise you. Not the same leash. I guarantee it. They'll blow Nick out. They will blow because, like you just said, this is the Nick creation. This is it. Nick and his guys and the offense and you got Stoutland out. This is Nick, bro.
How do you feel about the 2026 season right now today?
I guess it's calling eagle glasses. There's a small slither of me that thinks that this thing could work, where the offense could come in and maybe the change is necessary, maybe it's needed, and maybe Sean Mannion is a little smarter than we're giving him credit for. Maybe he understands how to get more out of Jalen while also not putting Jalen in a sinking environment. Maybe. That's about 10% of me. But right now, it doesn't feel good. You let the best offensive coach in the locker room leave, and you kept all the stiffs.
You think his phone's ringing off the hook right now?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Jeff Stoutland. Hey, you know what I would hate to see is Jeff Stoutland go to New York with the Giants.
Wait, I got to address the guy. I knew these were coming, and it's always from Senor. Senor, I love you, buddy, but man, you should make some dumb comments. Now all of a sudden, Xander's going to blame Nick. So, Senor, I want to teach you something in life. All right. In life, there's called information. It's a steady supply of new information that happens in life. If you're stagnant in opinions, you're going to get left behind or you're not going to have updated information. Something really big happened after I got off the show yesterday.
Yeah.
Really big of new information.
Yep.
That new information has allowed me or given me the opportunity to open up my scope of what goes into my opinions. And this has changed that because Jeff Stoutland is no small change.
No. That's a meteoric change.
That's a huge change.
Yeah, that's not just shits and giggles here, bro. That's just not. All right, Z, let me say goodbye here, man. It's been a really it's been a remarkable 24 hours to say the least.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's what, dude. Honestly, though,
give me your final thought here on this.
Yeah, it's a little upsetting, man. It's a little upsetting. I mean,
I agree.
Real quick, my final thought is this. And sorry to hold you over time.
You're not.
My final thought is this. It's upsetting because this is a team that has 2 Super Bowls in its history, in its franchise history. And you can literally dumb down those Super Bowls to the bone. And you know what the bone would be? The bone would be the offensive line. And both of them were coached by this man. Both of them.
Yep.
And one bad year or 1 year of it wasn't even that bad of a year. One middle year of running.
Barkley was 9th.
And Nick Sirianni, who I've defended, boy, you better be fucking right about Sean Mannion. I'll tell you that much. You better be right. Because you just fired or pushed Jeff Stoutland out the door for a dude that we don't know a lick about him.
Hey, did you see that? Did you see that post of his? Did you see that post of his? Tell you what, man, he didn't mention anybody but the Eagle fans. Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah,
he didn't say there was some word salad, of course, by the Eagles.
So true, dude. I didn't even think about that.
He didn't mention Lori. He didn't mention anybody but the Eagle fans and said thank you to them and said Stout out.
Yeah,
bro.
Bob Lang ran the PR campaign, made the social team make it graphic.
Oh yeah. They're just feeding it right now. All right, Big C, you're gonna have another big show tomorrow. I guarantee you on a football.
What a shame,
Friday.
dude. What a shame.
No doubt.
Right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. I'll see you in a second here, folks. Thank you very much. No question about it, man. I can't wait. Football Friday. It's Super Bowl Friday, actually. Getting you ready for the game on Sunday. We'll talk extensively about that. I'm sure there's going to be more coming out of this. We will see you 2 to 6. Thank you again, and we'll catch you on the flip side.